Welcome to this video tutorial on solving exponential equations using what we call a U-substitution. So we're looking at one problem in this video, the problem pictured on the screen. And when we go to approach this, we're going to do a few things. So first of all, let's build a 0 on one side and we'll get everything else on the other side. Now once we do that, we try to build a common base. And the common base here appears like 3 could make sense. 3 to the 2x is really 3 to the x being squared. 9 squared, we can just write that as 81. There's no variable, so we don't have to worry about a base. And over here, 3 to the x plus 1 is really 3 times 3 to the x. Watch for properties of exponents. 3 to the x plus 1 is really 3 times 3 to the x. Now let's realign some of these terms here. So we'll have 3 to the x, the quantity squared, minus, now 10 times 3 is 30, so I'll write that as 30 times 3 to the x plus 81 is equal to 0. At this point we can do our u substitution, where we're going to say u is equal to 3 to the x. That would turn into this equation being u squared minus 30u plus 81. So what we should do is once we have it equal to 0, look for a possibility for it to factor. Yes, the quadratic formula is always available, but perhaps it factors more simply than the quadratic formula would be to use. Two numbers that multiply to be a positive 81 and add to be a negative 30. I believe negative 3 and negative 27 would work. Once we have that factoring, u is going to equal 3 or u will equal 27. But be careful, because at this stage we're not quite done yet. What we have to do is we have to solve for x. So we will convert both of those into an x equation. For u equals 3, that means 3 to the x is going to equal 3, in which case x would be equal to 1. Again, that was the scenario when u is equal to 3. Then we have the scenario when u is equal to 27. That means 3 to the x is equal to 27. And 3 cubed is 27. So this problem would be possible without a calculator. Factoring it really wasn't that bad. And then once you've solved for u, we need to make sure we solve for x before we say we're done. Overall, a few things to keep in mind. Get 0 on one side, everything else on the other side. Build a common base. In this problem, it was 3 to the x. And then once you've built that common base, make a u substitution where u is equal to that base, in this case 3 to the x, and then solve accordingly. Following that approach, many exponential equations will be possible to solve without a calculator and without a whole lot of difficulty.